What is good, y'all? So I'm about to pull into Lifetime, about to hoop, about to work out. But I do want to drop a quick little video for you guys because I've been getting a lot of questions lately. Like, what is online fitness coaching? Who is it for? Who is it not for? What got you into online fitness coaching? How did you get to where you are today? So I just want to do a quick little video to answer like all of those questions. I'm going to take you all the way back, right? I was 12 years old. This was the defining moment for me in my life. My dad passed away due to lung cancer when I was 12 years old. When I was a little kid, I would always remember climbing up in his lap and I'm like, Dad, can you please stop drinking? Can you please stop smoking? Can you please start working out? Can you please start eating healthier? But my dad kept on telling me like, later never came. And then one moment happened. Just thinking back to it, I'm like, man, that was such a rough time in my life because, like I had to see my dad go through chemotherapy, had to go through like all the health complications, going to the hospitals. It's like getting transferred from different hospital to different hospital, doing these tests, that test, and just seeing him struggle like that was not fun for me at all. And it sucked too because my mom was the one trying to take care of him as well. And just going through the entire process was just like very saddening for me to see as a kid growing up. I was 12 years old. Like most 12-year-olds are supposed to be having fun, playing video games and doing this, doing that. But for me, I was stressed out of my mind because I'm like, what am I going to do if I don't have a dad? What am I going to do if he passes away? And, unfortunately, he ended up passing away, many months later. This left us in a very tough position, right? Because my mom, was not the breadwinner in the family. My mom was making like $30K in a year. My dad was the one bringing home the money. So when he passed away, like he left the hospital bills, left the mortgage, left the car payments, left everything, for my mom to pay. And obviously you guys know that 30K in this economy is not enough to, even get around, right? So it was just like a very tough time for us in our lives. So I'm very grateful for our family members, like my aunts, my uncles, like they let us stay at their place, for some time. And we were just bouncing place to place. And I was just like in a position where I'm like, man, like what would have happened if my dad started taking care of himself? What would have happened if he started, it's like taking care of his health? He actually worked out, didn't drink, didn't smoke. So after that moment, man, like I made it very clear for myself, I'm never ever smoking. Right? I'm living a healthy lifestyle and I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my family, right? And at 12 years old, I was like, bro, like I thought my life was gonna be over because we were bouncing place to place. But my mom was like, hey, I want to be strong for you. I want to take care of you. And just seeing my mom struggle, bro. Seeing my mom struggle, like, made me, like, feel some type of way where I was like, bro, like, I'm almost in tears right now, bro. Like, I'm just thinking about it. And I'm like, man, like, seeing your mom struggle, like, it's okay for me to struggle, right? But for me to see my mom struggle at 12 years old, seeing, like, the pain, the agony that she was going through because, like, my dad didn't, step up as a man, to work on himself, work on his health, and he let, it's like his health take the best of him. Man, it's like, it just sucks to see, right? So she was dealing with a lot of like mental stresses, financial stresses, and like everything, because everything like that my dad left, it landed on her, right? So she had to take care of the funeral. She had to take care of like the bills, the hospital bills, the mortgage, and all that stuff. We ended up losing the house. We ended up, it's like having to sell the car, and everything. It was like we were in a bad position. So I know what it's like to be broke, bro. Like I know what it's like to have nothing. Like you lose your dad, you don't have the finances, you have to bounce place to place. It's like from aunt's place to uncle's place to aunt's place to uncle's place, like just to go to school, bro. Like I remember those times where I had literally nothing in my life. But I had my mom, I had my family, so I'm so grateful for that. And then 2 years later, she suffered a stroke. She suffered a stroke, and I remember just being in class, and my uncle pulled me out of class. Like, my family members never come to class. They never pull me out for anything. If you know anything about like Asian, like immigrant families, like they won't pull you out of school for anything unless it's like an emergency. Like, they won't pull you out of anything unless it's an emergency. And they pulled me out, and next thing you know, I'm in the car with my aunt, my uncle. They're driving to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, it's like, your mom's in there right now. I'm like, what for? And then the moment I stepped foot in the hospital, I saw her wired up. I saw her like dead asleep. Like she was facing a coma. She suffered a stroke. And at that moment, bro, like, I was just like, bro, like, my life is over. Like, why is it like happening to me? Like, I was just like, why, God? I didn't even believe God at the time, but I was like, why? Like, if you are real, like, why would you make this, it's like, happen to me in my life and my family? Like, why would you do this to me? Right? Like, why would my dad have cancer? Why would my mom suffer a stroke? And I was just questioning God, and I was like, man, like, I don't even believe in God, because if God was real, then, like, my dad would still be alive. My mom wouldn't suffer a stroke and all that stuff. But now I know, bro, like, I'm a big believer now. And I believe, everything that happened in my life was just a testimony for what I can share with the world now to this day, right? I see the evidence of, God being in my life, and, it's like really taking care of me, like, throughout the entire process. And I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't realize that. But yeah, like, after my mom suffered a stroke, I was like, bro, like, my life is over. My life is over. Like, now it's like my dad passed away. He left the bills. Like, I'm with my aunts, my uncles. My mom's in a hospital. I'm 14 years old right now. I'm 14 years old. My dad passed away. My mom's like in the hospital, suffered a stroke, and she couldn't even remember my name. Like, that was just so sad to see, bro. Like, seeing her, like, walk around and all that stuff, and she's like, nurses are like, hey, like, that's your son. That's your son. And then she's like, what? Broke my heart, bro. Broke my heart. So, this led me into being so committed with my health, my fitness, and just making sure that I was able to fend for myself. So after that moment, bro, like, I was so locked in with my goals. I don't want to be in a position where I can't fend for myself, right? I wanted to be so independent at that point where I was like, you know what? Like, I know that I got to study hard. I know I got to be a hard worker. I know that, like, I got to do whatever it takes in order for me to survive in this world. I know that having good health, working on your fitness, working on your health, working on your finances, working on those, specific areas of my life, is going to build that life for me, right? So from that moment on, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to start hitting the gym, starting to hit the gym consistently, surrounding myself with bigger guys in the gym, started learning from them because I looked up to them. I respected them because I saw guys that were benching 185, 225. I was just asking the bigger guys, like, how can I do it? Like, teach me. Like, teach me how to work out properly. Teach me how to diet properly. Teach me how to do this, do that, right? So I took the advice and knowledge from people that were ahead of the journey than me, and I just implemented it for my life. I started being so consistent. I started building more muscle, losing more fat, and then I started getting to a point where people started asking me, it's like, bro, like, you got such amazing results. Like, can you help me as well? So I started helping people in the gym, correcting their form, correcting their technique, helping them get better every single day, just fixing up whatever that needs to be fixed up. And over time, I just really loved and enjoyed it a lot. I just had this passion to help other people, especially in their health and fitness, because what happens with my dad, what happened to my mom, and I was like, you know what, like, I want to help as many people get in shape as possible. Then college hit, and this was when I had a mentor in college. He's like, hey, like, have you ever considered personal training? like as a career, since you love it so much and you just do it for free right now, like you can get paid for it. I was like, oh, I never considered, like doing personal training. But I ended up committing to it. I got a certification to be a personal trainer. And after that, like I started training people in person. I really loved that aspect. And after I started training people in person, I realized the type of impact that I was able to have on people's lives. Seeing them feel better, seeing them look better, seeing them, have more confidence in themselves, seeing them just be a lot healthier, a lot happier. And I had this vision and goal in mind where I was like, man, like every single day I see you guys putting in that work, I'm so proud of you, because every single day that you are putting in that work, you're on a different life trajectory than, let's say, my dad, right? So I just knew that if you drink a lot, you smoke a lot, you don't work out, you're eating junk all the time, it's not going to end well for you, bro. It's not going to end well, right? So this is why I'm so passionate about helping men, women, whatever, right? Just get in better shape for their friends, for their family, for their loved ones, for their kids, for their significant other. When my dad passed away, like I was a wreck, bro. Like I was a wreck, and my mom was a wreck, right? Because he didn't take care of himself. So this is why I'm so passionate every single day in helping guys get better health, better fitness, and just improving on all aspects of your life. Because as a man, when you work on all aspects of your life, your fitness, your faith, your finances, your family, like you're locked in, bro. Like you're doing the best that you can. And I have that value in my life where I'm like, you got to do the best that you can every single day, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow, bro. You're not guaranteed to wake up and do whatever you want to do. Like, you're not guaranteed. So many people live this way where they're just like, oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. You might not, bro. You might not. You got to make this, day the best that you can. And you got to go to sleep and be like, man, like I gave it my all today. And that should be every single day, man. Give your all to your fitness. Give your all to your finances. Give your all to your faith. Give your all to your family. And give your all to anything that you do in your life. And when you're able to do this, like amazing things are going to start happening for you in your life. So after I started, in-person training for people, I realized the amount of impact that I was able to have. And then in 2020, I got targeted by a Facebook ad, and my coach was like, hey, like if you're able to be a good fitness coach, people just got to know about you. I'm going to teach you the skills to market yourself, to sell yourself, and to be able to show the world, your skills and your expertise. And I was like, you know what? Like I am a good coach. I'm a great coach, but I don't know anything about business. I don't know anything about running my own thing. It's like, especially online, like during that time in my mind, I was like, how do you even train people online? Is it like Zoom calls? Do I have to hop on Zoom calls with people all the time and stuff? And I had so many like limiting beliefs because I wasn't introduced to it, or like I didn't know anyone in my life that was doing it either. But what it essentially is it's like I hopped on like the seminar with my mentor, and my mentor is like, hey, like there's these trainers that, it's like build out workout programs, build out diet programs, every single person that they work with, and they're able to, it's like make a really good living for themselves. And he showed me testimonials of guys that were making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $300,000 a month. And I was like, how are these like trainers making like a regular in-person trainer's salary in 1 month, right? Because if you guys don't know, like an in-person trainer's salary is typically around $60,000 a year, right? But when I saw, it's like these guys doing like $60,000 in a month, I was like, what? Is this a scam? Like, am I, like what the heck is this, bro? Like, how are they doing it? But he just broke it down. He's like, hey, like in the online space, like you have so much leverage because you're able to train like 10, 100 people, 1,000 people even, right? Like the sky's the limit, because when you're online, you have so much room and flexibility. It's like where you're able to help people, train people, and you're not quote unquote trading your time for money anymore, right? Because you're creating a workout program, a diet program, and putting people in an accountability group, right? So that they can get results on their own time, right? You create the blueprint and you create the path in order for them to see results. And I had to switch this mentality for myself where I was like, I went from, it's like trading my time, in person one-on-one for an hour to, it's like helping people build out a game plan. Be like, hey, if you do these workouts 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever it is that fits their lifestyle and their schedule, and you hit this diet plan, it's like, hey, do these macros, do these calories for your specific body, for your specific height, and all that stuff. And I just laid out everything for them and continuously checked on them. They started getting results. And then next thing you know, I see my clients losing 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70 pounds, right? Without me having to be there in person with them. And I was like, that's so crazy, right? So that's essentially how I got started, bro. Like, I got started by investing into a mentor that was $17,000. Like, during that time, like, no one believed in me. Like, my mom was like, that's a scam, because, immigrant mom, it's like, like, she works hard for her money, and she didn't really understand, it was like this opportunity that was offered to me nowadays, right? My family members, they were like, don't do it. A lot of my friends, like 99% of all my friends, they're like, don't do it. It's a scam. Like, $17,000 is way too much money. I could never do that. All that stuff. But then, like, my best friend, during that time, he invested into a digital marketing course, right? And he got a mentor. He bought a course for himself. And he was like, bro, like, I'm learning so much. Having a mentor, having a coach really changed my life. And I'm learning so much, and I'm implementing these things. Like, you should do it, bro. And I was like, I was like, I don't know, like, doing this, doing that. So I was like doing my research on my mentor, right? I was going through all his content. I was going through all his YouTube videos. I was going through like all his posts. I was like writing down notes, seeing like what I can learn, what I can implement. And I was like, over time, I was like, okay, this guy, I like his mentality. I like his energy. I like, like the way that he's teaching things, and it makes sense to me, right? As I gained more information on what he was teaching, I was like, you know what? Like, I can get behind this. So after that, like 3 weeks later, it was like after like the seminar was being presented to me, I didn't commit on the seminar, but it took me like 3 weeks to commit. It's just like, because for me, like, I didn't want to lose $17,000, right? So I had to do extensive research, to make sure that I trusted this mentor, trusted this coach, because I don't know this coach, like, I met this guy online, right? But my best friend was like, hey, like, what's the worst case scenario? Like, worst case scenario is you just go through this program. It's a complete scam, and you're still living with your mom. You're $17,000 down, but you learn a lesson. Okay, that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, he promises you everything that, it's like he mentioned in the seminar, right? You're able to be your own boss. You're able to travel. You're able to have your own freedom, your own flexibility. You get to do whatever you want with whomever you want, whenever you want. You get to run your own schedule. You get to impact people's lives way better, right? With social media, like, the sky's the limit, right? If you have 100 followers, you have 1,000 followers, you have 10,000 followers, you have 100,000 followers, you have 1,000,000, like, the sky's the limit, right? You can impact so many people's lives. And I was like, based on the trajectory of my life, like, I want to impact thousands and millions of people, bro. Like, that's just me, because I have a passion. I have a purpose. I have a why behind why I do what I do, right? So I was thinking bigger than just like 10 people, training 10 people in a day, right? I was thinking of like, how can I train 100 people in a day? How can I train 1,000 people in a day and to impact their lives for the better? Because, just thinking back to, it's like my dad, I'm like, man, like, if I can impact some guy's life that changes his trajectory around, be able to be more fit, be more in shape, be healthier, he's going to be able to live longer with his kids, his family, and he's going to be the type of man that shows up for his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a core, deep value of mine, bro. Like, I resonate with that so heavily. That's why I do whatever it takes for me to get in the best shape of my life, for me to make sure that I'm working on myself, my business, and investing into my relationships and my network and everything around me every single day, man. I'm a man on a mission every single day, right? And I want to help other guys be on that same journey, be on that same wavelength as me, right? Because when you're able to do that day by day, you're going to see so much results in yourself. Like what online coaching is basically you just help a certain type of demographic. Whether you want to help men, whether you want to help women, whether you want to help the elderly, whether you want to work with CEOs, whether you want to work with 9-to-5ers, whether you want to work with, teens, whatever it may be that you're passionate in helping, right? You would just essentially, create a workout program and a diet program that helps them achieve their goals. For me, my demographic was the 9-to-5er, right? And also like the business guys and CEOs and all this stuff as well, because they resonate a lot with my story and what I do, because I'm a business owner at the end of the day, right? So I help like 9-to-5ers lose weight, lose fat, fit their clothes a lot better, have more energy, have more confidence in themselves. And I just create a workout plan and a diet plan specifically tailored to them. So I'll ask them questions like, hey, like, what do you do for work? How many hours do you do for work? It's like, do you have a kid? Do you have a wife? Do you have, it's like a significant other? Like, are you single? Like, what's your lifestyle like? Do you drink? Do you party? Do you smoke? And after getting a good understanding and background on what they're trying to do in their life, I asked them what their goals are. Like, where do you see yourself 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now? What type of results would you want to accomplish? And they always tell me things like, I want to lose fat, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthier for my kids, I want to be, it's like in the best shape of my life, I want to have more energy, have more confidence in myself, and, like able to not have all these health complications later on in life. So I'm like, okay, like I'm gathering more information on, it's like what they're trying to accomplish. And as the fitness coach, as the fitness expert, I'm just like, okay, like I know exactly, it's like since you're working 50 hours like a week, maybe you don't have time to hit the workouts 5 or 6 times a week, but you have time to hit 3 to 4 workouts, right? So I would program them workouts, that are 3 or 4 times out of a week. And, if they have time, it's like we can do 5, we can do 6. So it's all dependent on the client and the person that I'm working with. Everything is tailored, everything is individualized for that specific person, right? And the diet plan as well, right? I get to know their height, their weight, how active they are, what they do for their job, and see if they're a desk worker, see if they're, a blue collar worker, if they're doing construction, all that stuff, right? So I see like everything and I'm like, all right, knowing what I know, like how would I get this person amazing results, right? And I basically do that every single time like I work with a new client, and I just formulate a workout plan for them. I formulate a diet plan for them. I put every single person in an accountability group chat together because, I truly believe in having a circle of like-minded individuals every single day, right? Having a circle of like-minded individuals is going to allow me to continuously just pour my knowledge, my value, and just give them reminders, encouragements, inspirations every single day in order for them to achieve and accomplish their goals. And when you're in a group of like-minded individuals, this energy is going to help you succeed as well, because for some guys, they're very competitive. They want to be the one putting in that work, showing up daily. And you know that if you don't put in the work, you see other guys putting in that work. You don't want to be the slacker of the group, right? So it's very like sports, right? If you don't put in the work and you see your friend putting in the work, you're just like, bro, like, man, like I got to put in that work too. I can't let that guy outwork me. I can't let that guy beat me. I can't let that guy, like get more steps than me. I can't let that guy keep on showing up and getting more jacked than me, right? So having an accountability group is everything. As you formulate the workout plan, diet plan, put them in an accountability group together, as they take action for themselves, right, they get results and they attribute that value to you because you as a fitness expert led them on the right path. You gave them the right blueprint, the right game plan for their diet and nutrition, their cardio, their steps, whatever, right? And you formulate everything and you hold them accountable, right? You train them on the mindset daily. Like, what are some things that you believe as the coach that got you to be successful in terms of fitness? It can be small things like consistency, right? Sharing the importance of consistency every single day. Because a lot of the clients that I work with, they tell me it's like, oh man, like I stay consistent for a week or two, and then something ends up happening. I go travel, I go on this trip, and then next thing you know, I fall off for an entire month, right? So small things like that, like how would you coach someone, with having a different mindset, right? It's like, hey, even if you slip up, recommit back to your goals. That way you don't lose that momentum. And they're going to be like, oh, you're right. Like I should recommit. I got to have that accountability in place. I got to have those reminders so that when I do go on the trip and I do fall off track a little bit, I have someone reminding me, pushing me, in my corner, right? So that's why they hire you as the fitness coach, right? To hold them accountable, to coach them on the mindset, to lay down the blueprint on exactly what they need to do in order for them to see amazing results. My belief is you need consistency, because my belief is if you want to accomplish massive results in your life, it's this formula. Consistency times having the right game plan times time and patience equals your outcome, right? You got to put in that work. Like, you got to inspire all your clients to put in that work, to be consistent. My belief is that you need to be putting in that work. You need to be consistent, because that's the foundation for everything that you do, right? And when you have the right game plan, you know the right form, you know the right technique, you have the right blueprint, you know exactly what you need to do in order for you to get to your goals. And then you just multiply that by times and patience. Because at the end of the day, like, results take time. Rome wasn't built overnight. It takes time, brick by brick. But when you have consistency, you have the right game plan, and you have time and patience on your side, you're going to accomplish amazing results. But if you're not consistent and you have the best blueprint and you have a coach and mentor and, it's like over long periods of time, you're not going to get good results either, right? And if you have a lot of hard work and work ethic, but you have a terrible game plan, you don't know what you're doing in the gym, you don't know what you're doing with your diet, you're just doing things mindlessly, and you don't have the proper blueprint and game plan on exactly what you need to implement, over long periods of time, you're not going to get results either, right? So you need to have that work ethic, you need to have that right blueprint, and you have to have, it's like time and patience as well, and you're going to accomplish massive success in your life. So this is why I believe in having coaches and mentors in my life at all times, especially if I'm working towards a goal. If I'm working towards, like my fitness goals, I'm like, bro, like having a fitness coach lay down the blueprint, laying down exactly what you need to do step by step is going to be key for you to just implement. Because for me, I know I'm a hard worker, bro. I know I'm willing to implement. I know I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Right? So if I just find the right coach, right mentor for me, I'm willing to execute and get amazing results, right? Because work ethic is not an issue for me. Having the right game plan, having the right mentor, lay down the game plan for me. So I do also want to talk about who this is not for as well, right? I would say you should not be an online fitness coach, one, if you're not a hard worker. If you're not a hard worker, this is not going to be some like overnight success and all that stuff. It's like, oh, post 1 or 2 times and you pop up on social media, you make $10,000 plus per month, and you're living sweet and your life changes and you barely do any work. No. That is not the case at all, bro. Like, especially when I first started, I was putting in such amounts of work that it was insane, bro. Like, you know what? Like, I gotta be successful. I gotta do whatever it takes. And I took whatever, like, my mentor told me, and I was like, you know what? I gotta execute on this, right? So if you're not willing to work hard in the first place, don't even think about doing online fitness coaching. You will not be successful. Number 2 is you gotta have a reason why you're doing what you're doing. Like, why do you want to be an online fitness coach? Like, I see a lot of health and fitness coaches become, it's like coaches because of something very tragic like myself, right? You see a family member passing away. You might have a dad or a mom or a significant other that had gone through some sort of health complication, and you're just like, bro, like, I don't want anyone to experience this as well. You know what I'm saying? And when you have a deep purpose and you have a deep why on what you're doing, you're going to have so much passion, so much motivation, and so much discipline for you to show up every single day, because you're a man or a woman on a mission. You're just like, bro, like, I got to show up every single day because someone needs to change their life around. Like, it's more than just workouts and diet, but it's like, it's your health, bro. It's about living longer with your family. It's about having a higher quality in life. It's about being able to run around with your kids and not being gassed out. It's about being able to show up as a man, as a woman. It's like for you and your family. And I just think about that so much in my life, and I'm like, man, like having a deep purpose is vital, right? So you got to have a deep purpose if you want to be an online fitness coach, because there's some times in my life where I'm like, bro, like I want to quit. Like, I just want to throw in the towel. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, it's a reality. Any job, any occupation, any career, it's going to be like that. It's like, I know I have a mission, I have a purpose, I have a why behind what I do, and I got to show up every single day to impact that one person's life, change that one person's life around, and change their trajectory around, right? Because I know that when they're continuously working on their goals, working on their mission, working on, it's like their vision, like there's so many things that are going to be beneficial in their lives. So I just make sure that I do that every single day. Number 3, online fitness coaching is not for the coach that solely wants the money. I will say this time and time again, if you are solely doing this for the money, do something else, bro. Get into real estate, get into finance, do something else, right? But if you are doing this because you truly want to help people, serve people, love people, make impact on their lives, and that is the core purpose and mission that you're on, you will get rewarded from that, right? But don't do this solely for the money. Get into this because you have a passion. Get into this because you have a purpose to impact people's lives, because you've seen fitness change your life around. You've seen fitness change people's lives around. And so you want to help other people that are not into fitness get into fitness, right? And change their trajectory of their life around, right? At the end of the day, like, don't do this for the money, bro. Like, money comes along with it, but don't do this solely for the money. Do this solely to impact people's lives for the better, because when you impact people's lives for the better, they're going to pay you for it. You know what I'm saying? When you deliver amazing results to your clients and get them amazing results, they're going to appreciate you so much. They're going to be like, bro, like, you changed my life around. You changed the trajectory of my life. I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you so much, fam. Like, you're going to start getting messages and video calls and all that stuff from your clients when you have this type of impact in their lives. And for you, maybe you're going to be 60-year-old one day, 70 years old, and you're going to look back and be like, man, like, whose lives did I impact? Whose lives did I change the trajectory of their life around, right? Like, who is still here? Who is still healthy because I helped them with the game plan to be healthy, to be strong, to show up as the man or woman they know they should be every single day, right? Making impact on people's lives is one of the core deep value of mine, right? So I think it's so rewarding, it's so fulfilling, and it's really good for business too, right? Because when you are able to impact people's lives for the better, not only are they going to want to work with you for longer, but they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family about you, they're going to tell their coworkers about you, and then next thing you know, your business explodes because of that, because you've done such a good job. But let's say, like, you're a scammer, you don't get people results, you suck as a coach, right? Your clients are not going to be fond of you. They're going to be like, bro, this guy sucks, like, I don't want to work with him anymore, and they don't work with you, don't keep on paying you. And then on top of that, are they going to refer their friends, family, coworkers to you? No, they are not going to refer anybody to you, right? So unless you do an amazing job, right, with them, transform their lives around, this is when your business really explodes, right? Because no one builds a successful business scamming people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why at the end of the day, like, your mindset should be like, I want to deliver so much value to people's lives. I want to change their lives so much for the better. You just want to be at a point where you're just like, man, like, I want to help you change your life so much for the better. I want to see your quality of life skyrocket. I want to see you living better, feeling better, be more confident, and just overall living a healthier lifestyle for you, your family, your kids. Because when you're able to deliver this type of value, imagine how much that's worth, bro. Imagine how much that's worth to change somebody's life trajectory around. How much is that worth to you, bro? How much is that worth to have better health, to be able to hang out with your kids, to be able to hang out with your wife, live longer, have a higher quality of life, feel confident in your own skin, not have to hide away, actually like the person that you see in the mirror? How much is that worth? It's priceless, bro. It's priceless. But at the end of the day, right, your clients will need to pay you because they need financial skin in the game. And I truly believe those who pay more attention, because when you have more financial skin in the game, you're a lot more committed. And you're so much more committed, you're going to take massive action. And when you take massive action, you're going to see more results. And when you see more results, you're going to be more motivated to keep on going. So this is why it's so important that you keep on investing in yourself. And I truly believe those that are like truly trying to accomplish massive things in their life, they pay to play, bro. Having financial skin in the game is everything. Choosing the right mentor is everything. Taking massive action is everything. So that is all for this video, man. I hope, like me sharing my story with you allowed you to understand me better as a coach, why I do what I do, and why I'm so passionate about this every single day. And also to share more information on online coaching, what it is, who's it for, who's it not for, and to see, for yourself where it's like, hey, like, is this an avenue or an opportunity that I would want to pursue for myself? Or, based on everything that you said, it's like, hey, like, this is too much for me, right? It's like, you get to choose for yourself, right? And another thing that I want to say too is like, you got to be comfortable putting yourself out there, right? You got to be comfortable putting yourself out there. And I know, especially for beginners, you might be watching this and be like, I don't know how I feel about that. But if you are willing to learn, if you are willing to put yourself out there, that's all it takes, right? You don't have to be comfortable yet. Because when I first started, I was not comfortable whatsoever. I was not comfortable at all doing like video and camera and just showing up on social media. But over time, as I got better, as I developed my skill sets, as I knew what I was doing in my life, and I was like, man, like, I have a mission, I have a message, I want to share it with the world, you're gonna be so much more passionate. And when you take the pressure off yourself and see is like, oh, how do I look, how do I feel, it's like, how do I sound, you're going to take so much pressure off yourself. And when you have the mindset, it's like, hey, how can I impact someone's life around by me sharing a message with the world? That's the mindset shift that I had, where I was like, you know what? It's less about myself. It's more about other people, serving them, loving them, making impact in their lives. And I was like, if I sound stupid, if I look ugly, it's like sharing my message with the world, so be it, right? But I know that in life, there's that one guy out there, there's that one girl out there that needs their life to be changed around, and I want to be the coach that helps them, right? So I hope that this video was insightful. It allowed you to understand me better. It allowed you to understand what online coaching is, who's it for, who's it not for, and share with you a little bit how I got started and where I am right now. So that is all for the video. If you guys stay till the end, man, you're a real one. You got a good attention span, and I know that you will be very successful, bro. But I'm about to go in. It's about 11 a.m. right now, and I'm going to go play some basketball at Lifetime and then get in a workout session as well. So make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel for more types of content like this, and let's go have an amazing day.